Hello, lovely people. This is Jenny P. on the second of our trilogy of the Alignment Fest 2018. And today I have got another spectacular guest to introduce you to, because we're talking about all things alignment, energy, and of course, as I mentioned earlier in the week, a few years ago, alignment was only ever used to, as a builder's term, to line up bricks. And now alignment has become the watchword. The watchword, alignment, energy have become popular vocabulary. But what do they really, really mean? What do they really, really mean for you and your life and your success and your fulfillment? So this is my second incredibly prestigious expert that I'm bringing on to talk about alignment for you. So welcome, SarahNegus, the modern shaman.
Hello, Jenny. Thank you for the introduction. Nice to be here.
Okay, so first of all, can you tell us what is a modern shaman? Why a modern shaman as opposed to an ancient shaman, apart from the fact that you're not ancient?
I'm not. Well, I don't know. I'm 51. Feels ancient sometimes. Modern day shaman.
Modern day shaman.
Yes. So the difference is that to be a traditional shaman, you have to really have been brought up in an indigenous culture and initiated within the tribe before the age of 30. Now, I have actually spent time quite a long time out in Peru, learning from the indigenous shamans, and I have undergone a very long 15-year apprenticeship here. But I am not from an indigenous tribe, and I certainly wasn't initiated in one of the initiation rites out in the jungle before the age I was 30. And what I've come to know is that a lot of the indigenous shamans are leaving the jungle and their tribes in search of the modern world. And I feel that it is up to us, our privileged society, to hold this tradition. Now, shaman for me is not something particularly that I learned. I was offered teachings that allowed me to remember I came like this. And I feel that a lot of people in our modern world go through initiations via emotional trauma, emotional crises. And so I marry the ancient art of shamanism, the traditional ways of it. Although you won't ever see me banging a drum to take anyone into trance, and you won't see me with a rain rattle. And I don't offer medicine wheel weekends. My take on shamanism, modern day shamanism, is to marry it with mindset work and modern psychology. So it's a deep, introspective look at what's going on in your inner world, the ability to see beneath the surface of your life, and what I like to call bifocal vision. We all know what bifocal vision is because we live with it. But, you know, we have a left eye and we have a right eye, and in the middle we see. So this is our awareness. Yet there's all of that there and all of that there that is on the periphery. So my take on modern day shamanism is to look beyond what you know into your past, into what's available for you in possibility, and bring the two things closer together. So it's a different take on it.
Wonderful. And I guess that's also because we're in the modern world, we're also cut off from traditions of more mystical traditions or earth based mystical traditions. Is that so?
Particularly in Europe.
Yeah.
When the church came through in the last 2,000 years, they killed all of the shamans. The Celtic people had a strong tradition of shamanism, as did Norse, the Norse people, and again ancient the Native American Indians. It was just basically that the church wanted to hold power, and that these individuals who held the spiritual health of their societies and their cultures in their own energy were seen as a threat. They were seen as something other than, and very much in a tribal way they were exterminated. So there's no oral tradition left here in our culture, in our knowing. It's actually, the word shaman brings fear for a lot of people, which is something that I'm here about to change.
Yeah, fantastic. I always get the impression when I'm in your presence of being in great magic, in the presence of great magic anyway.
Thank you, Jenny. I do like magic.
So we're going to chat about alignment and energy, and also bring this fascinating power of 3 into it as well. So what is your take on alignment?
So alignment for me is when you feel good. It's that easy. It's not about waiting for the moon or the stars or the sun to be in alignment. Yeah, alignment. It's not about waiting for the perfect time. It's waiting for when you feel fabulous, for when you feel content and happy, and to move into your desire from that place. Alignment is about being you, in all that that means. And, you know, if you feel unhappy, then perhaps there's something that you need to look at within yourself that will bring you back to that place of feeling, oh, I feel good today. Alignment is not a destination. It's not something that we can hold and keep static. It's something that moves within us.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that, because people with it becoming so trendy, people kind of, it's become something to have, as you said, like something to try and grab hold of.
Yeah, and they look outside of themselves for kind of validation that they're in alignment. Oh my gosh, we have a full moon today, and it is a big moon. Yeah. But all that moon will do is amplify what is going on inside of you. And if you set your intentions in the right way, it will help you to expand on that energy. But it is not going to do anything to you. All it does is light up what's there. So this idea that outside forces can pull you out of alignment, for me, is wrong.
Okay.
It may be other people's truth, but that for me is a lack of responsibility of who you are and where you are and what you want.
Yeah, totally on that page. It's too easy to say that it's the constellations or outside forces, as you say.
Lionsgate, anything.
Yes. Solstice.
Anything.
Yeah.
Or
even a lot of spiritual people do that as well, don't they?
Yeah, they do, and that's fine. That's where they are. There's no judgment in this.
Yeah.
This is my take on what I've learned in my life and what I teach. It's a knowing in me. Now, other people may have a different perspective on that, and that is absolutely valid for them. I had a great teacher. His name is Piero Ferrucci. He's still alive. And he is one of the people that advocate psychosynthesis, which is the psychology that I studied. Psychosynthesis is a psychology that believes that we are also our qualities. We're not just what has happened to us. We are also an existential being. And his first lecture to me, he had on the whiteboard, "This is not the truth." And I love that, because everybody's individual perspective is their truth at the moment, and that may change tomorrow and the next day and the next day. So I'm sharing here what is my truth around alignment, and it may not resonate with somebody else who does hold with the fact that the constellations and the moon and the sun makes a difference to them. And on a level, they will make a difference to them. But it's when you come underneath and become victim to them that I say, no, have a look at that. We're not victim to anything in this world apart from ourselves. And that, again, is part of alignment.
So the title of this whole event was about mastery, mastering our energy. What in your experience with the clients that you've been working with so successful, what do you see is when we master our energy and we master feeling good, what is possible for us?
Well, anything is possible for one. Within our own soul contract and within our own vibration. Obviously, and my son reminded me of this the other day, Mum, you say that everything is possible, but if I've only got one leg, I'm not likely to be the fastest runner in the world. And he has a point. So anything that you can dream of that fits in with your vibration and your soul contract is absolutely possible to you. When I work with my clients, energetic mastery, self-mastery, comes as a fluid experience of self. It's about knowing yourself. And knowing yourself today is different to knowing yourself tomorrow, because tomorrow you're someone new. And the next day you're someone new, and in a year's time you'll be totally different. Even our physical body renews itself. I mean, our bones renew themselves every 7 years. And that's the skeleton of us.
Yeah.
So our own energetic knowing of ourselves changes. Now, when I work with my clients, what happens is that they realize sometimes, in fact, one of my clients yesterday said, Sarah, I must be a really slow learner because I keep having the same thing happen to me. But when we actually looked at it, what was happening was that on every level of expansion in her life and business, she was being faced with what's in her vibration, her learned experience of herself. But she wasn't coming from the first time she understood about it. She was coming from a different perspective. And this is something that gets lost. And this is alignment. This is, okay, I know this about myself, but I'm in this place today, which is somewhere different to when I was a year ago. How can I effectively master this experience for the greatest good of me and of everyone else? Because when we do work on ourselves and we do come to a place of knowing ourselves and wanting to come into an alignment with the greatest good, our own growth affects everyone. And there's the magic. There's the magic,
Yeah. That's really interesting, because I was reading something just this morning on this this attachment that we have to our roles and our identities, and what we think is who we are. Whereby what you're saying is confirming that we're in constant shift all the time because our perspective constantly shifts. Is that right?
Yeah. So if you come to the place where we're energy, ultimately our physical body, I think it's about 95% of this energy that they can't put a name to. We're about 5% matter. Energy never stands still. It never stops. It never is held in form. It's always moving. And then energy never dies either. It transmutes all of the time. And for me, there's real beauty in that. And the ability, if you can hold that in your perspective, that change is inevitable. Every single breath you take, you change. And I get excited about that, where other people are afraid of change. Where if you can embrace change, you come into an alignment with your being, because that's what you do all of the time. Now, I teach a concept which is success consciousness, which is that nothing outside of you measures your level of success. Your being, you, in your unique self, is that in its own universal knowing it, your success just by being you, whatever that means in the moment. And if we're going to talk about true alignment, there it is. Owning that feeling of success in being who you are right now, in every moment.
I'm just letting that percolate out.
It is a big concept.
That's a pause for it to take effect, because it's so important, isn't it, that this shift is possible with presence and practice. Of course, if you're not used to it, this shift is possible almost momentarily.
Yeah, it is. And I like what you say about having presence and practice, because practice is the key. You know, a child practices sitting up, and in practicing it grows its muscles. And this is the same thing. If we are to practice this idea of being success in our own being, we have to really practice the feeling of it. And in that, shift our vibration. And when we shift our vibration to a feeling of success all of the time, just by breathing ourselves, imagine what comes.
So I'd love to ask the same pokey question that I asked Karen the other day. Is like, how do people project themselves into a feeling of success consciousness if they've never felt it before?
So project themselves, I would say, isn't something that I resonate with. So can I change that language a little bit?
Oh, absolutely.
How do people find a feeling of success consciousness within them? A feeling of being success when they've never felt it. So everybody at some point will have known the feeling of, oh my God, I've learned to write that. Oh my God, I've learned to ride a bike. Oh my God, I've become an adult. Oh my God, I've finished my exams.
Well, some of us.
Yeah, some of us. Yeah. Or, oh my goodness, I'm going on a first date. So these are all feelings where you get excited about an outcome. Yeah. Oh my goodness, I've had my first paycheck. All of us on some level will have experienced some version of that. And you take that feeling within and make it so that, oh my goodness, I'm me. And it may well take a lot of unraveling or inner work into finding out what you are, who you are, why you don't feel successful in your own self. There's the self-mastery, there's the self-knowing. And then you have to shift your beliefs, because we're taught from a very early age, particularly women, that we're not good enough. Men get taught that they can do whatever they want, but then they find that when they go to do whatever they want and they're invincible, that often they're not. And they have their own version of, I'm not good enough going on. So if we can overcome I'm not good enough to, well, my feeling of I'm not good enough is actually success, because in knowing that, in deciding to overcome that, I'm growing the universe. My contribution to the greatest good is right here inside of myself. It's valuable, it's valid, it's worthy, it's priceless. And there we go.
That's the magic again that you were talking about the ripple effect or the
yeah. And when someone, my clients, experience shamanic journeying with me, they understand it, because in the spiritual realms, there we get out of our own way. We move past what is the illusion of our reality here and feel the vibrations that there are in the spiritual realms. What I then invite people to do with the mindset work and the psychology is to translate that and reframe it into something that's helpful in our world. We can spend all our time in energy. We can get answers in energy. But unless we do something with them, they stay in energy. They stay outside of ourselves. And my work is all about alignment within success consciousness within, making changes within, so that the life you have is designed by you in alignment. See what I did there?
So within, so without.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, lovely. I love the. That's absolutely such a pragmatic description, and I love pragmatism and groundedness. It's such a pragmatic description of something that can remain elusive. People always,
yeah. You know, there's a mystic in me, a big one. I am mystical. I like it. But that's disconnection from what we're here to do. You know, it's a privilege to be in our physical form.
Yeah.
Living in the Western world, this is a privilege. And to spend all of my time in the spiritual realms doesn't help anybody.
Yeah, that's another popular myth, isn't it? That ascension's going to be better than what we've got when it's such damn fun here.
yeah, but every breath is an ascension, isn't it?
I'm sorry. Yeah, that one went a bit wonky. That one.
Every breath is ascension.
Yeah, sure.
So the universe is continually motivating itself forwards and wider, and we're part of it. So there's no separation.
Yay! I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's bring this fascinating power figure rule energy of three, because we had a little exchange some months ago and about threes, and you use the power of three in your work. Can you tell us what in what way and why?
Yeah, so I find the power of three for me comes in the shape of a triangle, which is sacred geometry. This way up, it's masculine, and this way up, can't do it, is feminine. Yeah, this is creation, and this is desire. And when we look within ourselves, we've got, I connect the inner child, shadow, and the higher self together so that we have this creative triangle and motivational force within ourselves. For me, everything sits within this. Desire is the manifestation of the universe, and it comes from each of us, and it comes from the greater consciousness. We get tripped up here by doing with desire, and we forget that desire needs space with which to be born. Yeah, so for me, there's duality in the two ways of looking at this trinity, this very powerful number, shape. And in the creative space of no thing, nothing, desire can form within us. And then when that happens and we move forwards towards it, I call it pressing the go button with the universe. We take aligned action rather than headless chicken action. Because headless chicken action doesn't look like the triangle in its masculine form. It looks all spiky and all over the place and scattered. So there has to be this energetic space which is created by understanding your past, what parts of your inner child are still working within you, what parts of your shadow, which is your survival, your ego, are a driving force, and how you can use them for your good, and how you can hear your higher self. When you have those three things creating space for you, you can really make a difference and move forwards to where you want to go. That's the power of three for me.
Beautiful. Yes, the sacred geometry is so fundamental to to consciousness and to consciousness, expanding consciousness, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So do you the work that you do, is it kind of healing work? Is it empowering work? Is it what were the typical, what's a typical, or like the kind of people that you work with?
So I work with business people and entrepreneurs who, but also lay people as well, but they're always in business or corporate, who understand that the quality of their life comes from within them. The quality of their business expands as they do, and are ready and willing and actively looking to take responsibility for that. So healing for me is a word that means that someone does something to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas my work is about facilitating space so that my clients can find themselves and choose who they are.
Get it. I got it.
I mean, I do hands-on work with people, but that is usually around post-traumatic stress disorder, dependent on how they've experienced life.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's a shamanic journey that is a joint experience. A master shaman will take their clients on a journey, and because they are invested in the journey themselves, it's my energy takes my clients. So there's a phenomenon called entrainment,
Yep.
which is whereby a lower vibration will come to meet the higher vibration. So I take my clients where they need to go. I don't know what they're going to see. I don't know how they're going to receive the information. I just have the intention of greatest good for all.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, my experience expands, my experience evolves, my own knowing of myself grows. And you know what it's like when you're in a fitness class or a Pilates class and the lady next door is managing to do more than you? It spurs you on, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And this is what happens in a shamanic journey, either in a group environment or on a one-to-one level, is that you're spurred on to the possibility of yourself, which is always more.
Yeah, I love that. I hope whoever's listening has written that down. There's the entrainment, the entrainment. That's beautiful.
Yeah. So just if you don't know what that phenomenon is, it's a scientific expression of when things come into alignment with each other. So you will have seen clocks swinging, and they're not in pendulum, they're not going the same place, and eventually they come together, boom, 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 boom. Yeah. It's the same with women who work in the same office with their moon cycle, with their menstruation cycle. They come into kind of sync with each other. And that's the same thing when you work energetically with people, you're doing it well, is that their energy will meet yours and your energy rises. And there we go. That's why people who are good at it, their clients feel amazing, because they have come to this level of vibrational lift that perhaps they don't experience in their normal life.
Wonderful. I'm getting that feeling just talking to you. so that's how powerful it is.
Yeah. It can intimidate people, and lots of people are not ready for me. So I just put that out there. My work is about real massive self-responsibility. There's no prisoners in it. I don't take any prisoners. It can be tough. But on the other side of that is something amazing.
Wonderful. So if you could resume 3 things that people can take away today? I've got loads and loads and loads. You've given us so much juicy stuff to think about there, about this shift. Is it possible to sum that up in three ways?
Yeah, for sure. Alignment is within you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not outside of you,
Love
ever.
that.
Yeah. Mastery is about knowing yourself. Actually, I'll just add this in here. So at the moment in our world, we think that war and famine are actually the main, and terrorism is the main things that kill us. Well, terrorism last year, 7,000 people died. In war, 120,000 people died. In crime, 400,000 people died. And 800,000 people died of suicide. So the best thing that you can do in your life now for your own health and to live longest is to get to know yourself so that you never come to the place where you're choosing to leave for your own volition. I just added that in because it came right full into the front of me.
Do you know what? I just saw some statistics like about 2 days ago as well. I think it was about exactly the same thing, believe it or not.
Yeah. It's quite amazing. And the biggest killer is diabetes. 2 million in the year. So if you have an addiction to sugar, you need to get to know why. Any sort of addiction is to distract yourself from the pain that you have within you. So we come back to self-knowing. So alignment is about coming to a place of feeling good inside yourself. Mastery is about knowing yourself. And energetic vibrational lifting happens on the journey of knowing yourself, which is a lifelong experience. And I'd say they're the three things.
Yeah. Wonderful. So I know you've got a webinar coming up.
I do. It is called Activate Your Highest Potential. It's next Tuesday the 31st of October at 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Now, the UK clocks go back at the weekend, but nobody else's does. So we're coming out of British summertime to go to Greenwich Mean Time. So that means something to lots of people out there. And Activate Your Highest Potential webinar will be a shamanic journey. It will take you through the divine matrix into energy to connect with your higher self. Now, your higher self is that little voice inside of you that you don't often listen to. It knows everything that you ever need to know. It connects to every single part of you. In fact, you're an aspect of it rather than it being the other way around. And it's a free webinar, and it's a taster into shamanic journeying with me. And last time I did it, which was about 6 months ago, I had 120 people on the call. It was amazing.
Wow.
So if you want to come join me, the link will be in the comments.
We will. I will make sure that we put all the links and the details right under this video on my page. Yep.
Yeah. All you need to do, click the link, confirm your email, and you're in for the free thing. And there'll be a replay. So if you can't make it live, as long as you have joined, I will make sure that your energy is attuned to the work that I'm doing.
So just tell me again, because I'm making a mental note. So it's Wednesday?
No, it's Tuesday, the 31st of October. Let me make sure. It's not.
Yeah, that's this Tuesday coming, isn't it?
30th of October at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time.
Greenwich Mean Time. Okay. Fantastic. So we'll put the link in so people can come and experience some of what we've experienced today, connecting with you, because
yeah, but I will be taking people deep into the divine matrix of energy, and we'll be journeying. It'll be fun.
Wow, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah,
that sounds really exciting.
coming, so it'll be completely new and completely unique. So
okay, wonderful. I think I'm going to just make sure I haven't got anything else on. I'm going to come. I could do with being entrained.
yeah, everyone can.
Is this by Zoom, Sarah?
Yeah, it's a Zoom link. It'll be a Zoom link.
Okay, excellent. That's really exciting. And also, I'm also going to put the link to your website under as well, so people to check out your website, because I know you've got some gorgeous things on there. You've got a journaling thing with notes. You've got a Miracles and Abundance course. You've got 6 week course.
Evolve and Thrive.
And Thrive, and your personal work as well. So there's a lot of really, really beautiful, valuable content and training to be had on Sarah's site. So I only bring my people the best.
I do appreciate that,
because I'm very fussy. So that's great. Okay, I think that's fantastic. I think we've done there, haven't we?
Yes. Perfect.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, thank you so much for taking the time and come into my community and spread your wisdom out there and empower more people, because that's what we're doing, is empowering more and more people.
For sure.
And it's really, 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 really vital work. I'm sure that this, what you've talked about, will strike a chord with a lot of people who are on a path to success and struggling in some way. So you've got the way to take this forward now. So thank you, Sarah.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
I am Jenny P, and we're 2/3 of the way through the Alignment Trilogy. I think we're going to repeat this next year, because it's amazing. And I will see you on Tuesday.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.